Testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing. All right, let's get this started. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another sports stuff podcast. Today, I want to be talking about something that's very close to my heart. Very, very close to my own heart. The Cleveland Browns 2020 expectations. It's so beautiful. I think there's a lot we can actually expect from this team. Obviously, last year, the media hyped them up. They hyped themselves up. Us, the fans, hyped them up the dog pound. But I think what's really important this year is they've learned from the hype and the over expectations of last season. They now know how to deal with the media and overcome it. I think we've improved our coaching. I think they have improved the offensive line. Their weapons have now been, another year with Baker Mayfield. I think Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are a formidable duo. And I think our defense will be better next season. And I'm going to go down my list and just list the reasons why I feel like the Browns not only will make the playoffs, but I think they could go deep in the playoffs. So here's the reasons. Let's start at the very top. GM. I love John Dorsey. I had a whole video idea planned out of John Dorsey in Madden, where no matter what the trade goes through, but the problem with him is he acquired talent, not what was needed to win. You know what I mean? So sometimes there are people that don't fit your system, but he still signed and traded for them because he thought they'd fit because they were big name people. They had big numbers in previous teams. And, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Odell Beckham Jr., I think is going to work out. Olivier Vernon, I don't think will work out. I think Olivier Vernon will probably be cut or traded before the season starts because it's $14 million you can free up and give to Jadeveon Clowney if you wanted to. There's been rumors that Jadeveon Clowney might be coming to the Browns, and I think it'd be a good idea. You cut Olivier Vernon, that's $14 million. You offer Jadeveon Clowney a 2-year, $18 million contract, per year, $18 million. So it's a $39 million contract over 2 years. Make it almost fully guaranteed. Boom. You got immediately better. But I think their GM's got better with Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry is a very analytical dude. He believes in analytics over anything. And he just brings in good talent instead of the best talent. You know what I mean? He brings in what is actually needed and would fit the Browns system than just, big name equals big production, which isn't true. Sometimes people have big seasons and that's it. The one season wonders. Look at Peyton Hillis. He was a fullback, running back mixture in 2011 with the Browns. Immediately fell off. But I just think Andrew Berry will be much better than John Dorsey. I'm excited to see this draft. I don't work for the Thursday and Friday, so round 1, 2, and 3 will be covered on this channel. I'm really excited to announce that. But on top of that, next we go down to coaching. Kevin Stefanski is a billion times better than Freddie Kitchens. The Cleveland Browns were historically penalized, and that comes from poor coaching. He will have better play calling, and I think his system works better with Baker Mayfield, which immediately makes the team better because Baker Mayfield was the reason that on the field production, Baker Mayfield was the reason we weren't doing as good. He had good games, he had bad games, but when he had bad games, the entire team went down. When he had good games, the team performed at its best. The 3 or 4 game win streak from the Bills to the Broncos or something like that, or it's the Bills to the Steelers with Myles Garrett. That 3 or 4 game streak is the Browns at its best. And I feel like that's where we really shined. That's where Freddie Kitchens actually started playing calls that were good and where Baker Mayfield played his best. But I love Kevin Stefanski because he plays a 2 tight end set, which means David Njoku won't have to carry the tight end position because I think he's at best a top 1 number 2 receiver. a tight end. Sorry, I don't know if he's fit yet to be a number one tight end. I think Austin Hooper and David Njoku duo will be lethal. Add in, Odell, Rashard Higgins if he signs back, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. He just has his system works with the two running back, two tight end, and star wide receivers. Because we've seen that at the Vikings. They've been amazing the last couple of years, minus the 2018 to 2019 season. They've been amazing, and they went to the playoffs, which is already better than the Browns have been able to say since 2002. But it's just immediately coaching gets better with Kevin Stefanski. Freddie Kitchens was a mess. Kevin Stefanski is the opposite of a mess. Then the next reason I think will be better is Baker Mayfield himself. He has been focusing on his training and working out a lot more. He isn't, making 15 commercials for Progressive, isn't going on Hulu Plus, isn't going on Hulu Sports, whatever. He's actually focusing on his football, which makes me excited because I think he'll be better with Stefanski's system of play action, lots of deep and short routes, and then obviously two high caliber running backs to hand the ball and throw to. Next is the signings of Austin Hooper and Jack Conklin. This is really exciting. Right tackle is now fixed. Immediately, Jack Conklin is more of a run blocking right tackle, but that's not Baker Mayfield's blind spot. I feel like they'll address that with the number 10 pick, but right tackle immediately gets better. Left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle are now fixed immediately. And they only offered him a 3-year, really cheap contract, so he can be off the books when Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett's all their contracts hit, $30 million a year, $20 million a year, $17 million a year. He'll be off the books by that time, which is great, because the Browns are in a very sticky situation with their cap, and with that means they're gonna have to make some hard decisions when it comes down to contracts. I think they'll eventually sign the key players, the Nick Chubb, the Baker Mayfield, maybe the Denzel Ward, but Myles Garrett for sure. David Njoku might be on the missing, might be the weak link and all that, but they got Austin Hooper. I'm just really excited to see Jack Conklin and Austin Hooper in this offense because it's exactly what the Browns needed: a good right tackle and a number one tight end. Boom, fixed immediately in the free agency. Next is the vacancy at left tackle. I think this is going to help them because it either makes them pick a left tackle at number 10 or it makes them move up in the first round using, their second, third, and fourth, and fifth round picks to move up and select a left tackle, maybe like what's his name? Like a Ezra Cleveland at 31 or 32. You never know. But I think that we have enough firepower to either move up or select at number 10 or move up in the later of round 1 to actually draft a left tackle. Because let's say Derek Brown is there at number 10. Boom, you're drafting Derek Brown over any left tackle. Derek Brown is an immediate upgrade to your defensive line. So it all really depends on who's at number 10. But if Derek Brown is not at number 10, it's a left tackle. I'm just telling you that. It's a left tackle. So I think it's great. They left options open for 2, either defensive tackle or left tackle. And I think that's really good because if we get a Mekhi Becton, for the next 4 or 5 years, Mekhi Becton can develop into one of the best left tackles in the league, and you don't have to pay him for 5 years, which in my mind is exactly what you need. You need a star left tackle because the Browns never want to be picking at the top half of the draft anymore. So you want to get a top 2, top 3 left tackle for the next 5 years that you don't have to pay. Next is the defensive coordinator, Joe Woods. He was the secondary coach in San Francisco. It was an interesting signing. Cool. I don't really care. Joe Woods, I hope, will be good. We also signed offensive line coach. Who is it? I just has name on the tip of my tongue. Browns O-line coach. Let's see. Bill Callahan. That's his name. He was interim for Redskins. But Bill Callahan is one of the highest revered offensive line coaches in the league. Last season and the season before, he had Trent Williams, Brandon Scherf, the right guard that came out of Oklahoma. I can't remember his name. He turned Eric Flowers into a dude who got a 3-year, $30 million contract with the Dolphins. So I'm excited for what Bill Callahan can do in Cleveland. Then on the defensive side, Adrian Claiborne, LaMarcus Joyner, what's his name? The safety from Vikings, Andrew Sendejo. That's three, impact rotation guys that I think could be really good. LaMarcus Joyner is a big hitter. He's only like 26 or 27. Got him on a 1-year deal. He's a big hitter, and sometimes it causes him to miss, but when he hits, it's hard. Andrew Sendejo is more of a mentor, but he's really good in coverage. Obviously, we got Sheldrick Redwine, and I don't, it's hard for me. I think Sheldrick Redwine had a disappointing season. I think Justin Burris was far better than him, but the Browns let Burris walk. But I don't really know about Sheldrick Redwine. I think round 2 we go with Antoine Winfield. I think that's the best pick you can do for the Browns is Antoine Winfield in the second round. Athletic freak. I think he's the number 2 safety after Grant Delpit. And I don't think Grant Delpit is a great fit for a system. So I think Antoine Winfield, round 2, ooh, that'd be a star pick. That'd be a steal. But the defense alone, we lost Christian Kirksey and, oh my God, what's his name? Joe Sherbert. The show must go on. Joe Sherbert. So our linebacker core, Sione Takitaki's going to have to take a step up. Mac Wilson's going to have to step up even more, even though he was one of the best linebackers last season. I'm interested to see what they do with the linebacker position. They didn't sign a single linebacker in free agency. So I'm wondering if they draft maybe in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round more linebackers to help out Mac Wilson, Sione Takitaki. I'm excited though. But yeah, I think the Browns, their ceiling is 12-4, 13-3, and their floor is 9-7. Because if we have another 8-8 season or a 7-9 season, I think it'll be a real disappointment. I think 9-7 is our floor, and 12-4, 13-3 is our ceiling. So, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below what you think the Browns. Obviously, I just listed off why I think the Browns will be better next season.